Spencer wrote in. Spencer said, hey, David, I'm a 19-year-old college student studying business. My question pertains to the possible malpractice and misdiagnosis of ADD and ADHD. I feel as if anyone could convince themselves that they have this disorder and be prescribed amphetamines like Adderall. I think it is just a cheap and easy way for people to get the motivation they otherwise would not have, and that the continual use of it may not be mentally healthy. What do you think? Absolutely. I mean, number one, we have drastic overdiagnosis of ADD and ADHD starting earlier and earlier in kids in school, kids that are, quote, hyperactive. So often, Lewis, what this is really, this behavior in kids is connected to what's going on at home, or phases of development or growth. And there's no doubt that there is drastic overdiagnosis of ADD, ADHD. Then you put people on things like Adderall and Ritalin, and then they become sort of dependent on those in order to be able to get work done or whatever, and it can create problems. Doesn't mean these conditions don't exist. Certainly they do. But it's hard to argue that there isn't an overdiagnosis of these conditions.
Big time. And I would be hesitant to prescribe this to someone whose brain is still developing too. I mean, I think only in the most extreme of circumstances should that happen. I mean, certainly there are people who do need it and are helped by it tremendously. So
of course,
it's important to have it. But overdiagnosis, rampant.
Now, as far as sort of like recreational use, and by that I mean you're still using it for productivity, but it's not prescribed to you.
Yep.
It's very common that people will buy, on college campuses, et cetera, they'll buy Adderall. There's also one called Provigil. And I don't know that Provigil is an amphetamine, but I've talked to people who take it for work. And they basically say, yeah, I take it in the morning and I'm just on fire all day. I can just sit there and concentrate and I get so much done. Of course, then I'm up all night and I can't fall asleep for like 24 to 36 hours. And I say, but so then what do you do in the middle of the night? They say, I don't know, I just read or play video games. I'm like, so it's like 4 a.m. and like your girlfriend's sleeping and you're just wide awake the entire night. And they say, yeah, that's basically it. And you feel fine. You don't feel tired or whatever.
Yeah. And then the next day, it starts to wear off and then you feel tired and then you need to take it again because then you can't concentrate. And then, so on and so forth.
I don't want to sort of understate the problem of people who really, for biological reasons, can't focus. I know that I've never had a focus issue, right? Like I can just get up and whatever, I've been awake for a half hour and I just say, okay, I'm going to sit down at my computer and work, and I can just sit there and focus. That's not, my weak point. And I don't want to sort of like dismiss the fact that people legitimately have a problem with doing that. But there are also those, like the people I know who take some of these things pseudo recreationally, where I say, I don't know that it's really necessary for, like, what are you doing where it's necessary to work for 20 hours straight? It seems like that's more of a time management issue than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've had plenty of friends who, back in the day would say, oh, I need to take some of this stuff. I got a big test coming up. I need to study all night. Need to concentrate. Very common. But let's end the overdiagnosis and prescription of this stuff.